Welcome to Free Minds Corona Update. Every 3 days, I make we worked about COVID-19 statistics from the John Hopkins University because the John Hopkins University make it absolute numbers of the deaths or the infected people, and not by the amount of people who live in the country. So I just was curious to see which country make the best work to until now. Okay, for the future I can see it very good because I'm not a scientist. I'm just a chemical worker, a skilled chemical worker, and so I know a little bit for to save from the coronavirus because once is chemistry, I have some experience, and corona or virus is in some places like a poison, but it's not just a poison like a poison because it can be bigger even you infected. So and it can also transform to another, and we have on the barrier this biological stuff, what is viruses. There's also the second problem. It could be it could be turned to something else, and more people who was infected, the risk to turn to something else getting higher, higher, higher. So it is maybe still is a coronavirus because that is corona mean just a form that is like a crown. What the corona means, uh, but the other things could be very different. But and this normally virus are known that they go less worth how long it goes to through the humanity, but on that virus there's a lot of things strange different to other virus population. So if you get infected, you get not on one type of this corona COVID-19 SARS-2 in your body. You get like in a family, and one of the family like more the nose, one of the family like more the lung, and some of them like also the brain. So that why it the fantasy, you can have the fantasy that one time they join to one cell and make something new. It could be if it is not that worst, maybe it is not we want to say, but it could be worse. And then comes another thing you have to think. This type of virus, or this coronavirus, is also found that they can come also to animals in your household. Not to dogs, that it prove, but it can taken by cats. So and there's also virus in cat bodies. They don't come to the human bodies. And but if they join in one cell together, it comes a new kind of virus. Maybe it could be more worse than corona was before. The worst thing on corona is not how is the possibility to get that. The worst thing on corona is how easy you can get it. So it is easy to think that we will get everyone sooner or later. Um, but we can make it slower and have and try to have the vacation before. So and there are some vacation who are tested in England and South Africa and Brazil. That is also, it is good to test it on sites who they have a high infection rate, because there's two groups. One have an infection, get the vacation, and the other part doesn't get the vacation to know what has happened. But to get from outside a flu, you have to wait. If there's not that much possibilities to get it, then you have no different, because nobody nearby now, nobody get ill. So, and that is you have to do on the worst place. And England is one of the worst place. South Africa and Brazil, of course. So they make one of the type. I think there's about, I don't know, about 50 companies who are researching a vacation, and 14 of them is on a good way, and I think about five is on testing on human. So, and in between the human and goes good way, there's a lot of them who are testing on animals. That is the first you must try to, if the animal, what is the animal do or not, die or not. So, and then you can have an idea it is worse for human body or not. So it does make no sense. You get not a coronavirus and you will die because it is a poison. So let's go. Let's start. So the rank on the time of the sense of the infected, there is not that much countries who change the place. So okay, that is here the Kosovo, ex-Yugoslavian country. They are still blue buried from the United Nations, so that is quite in chaos. So that is normally that they will have problems. Um, and the West Bank, that is the part of Palestine who have a lot of struggle with Israel, and maybe it is difficult to form a country when you are not a country. So to get resolve that problem. So then there's okay, India. Okay, that is, I said always, India. Um, they make a lockdown, so they wanted to make it, and then in a few days they found out that the most of the people, there's no social system, so there's no help or something like that. They will die not on COVID, they will die on hunger. So they have to, the work have to go, yeah. So that is normal. The only thing what they can do is to use the mask, because even the thing to be 2 meters from each one is difficult to be in India, because there's so many big cities. The people are so near. The traffic cars and the motorbikes and bicycles are so near to each to another. And you must go to somewhere to buy something. There's in a room. There's so many people. So that is difficult. The only thing what the Indian people can do is to use the mask, yeah, and wash their hands. So, okay, Czechia is one of the best success in Europe, and they is not that worse than the other countries. So that why they get a good place. Norway had a close down, a shutdown, and close also the border to Sweden, because Sweden is a high risk country. Let me see if, yeah, you see Sweden on the place 100. Even for the infection, you must know that the number of the infection will tell you in future, maybe in 7 days, 14 days, or in 3 weeks, when comes the rate of that. So if you're now on 100, don't think about what is happening in 3 weeks. So, and that is also US 104. So that is all related on the people who living there. So don't think, oh, US have much more people. Yeah, but they have much more infection per people than the Sweden. So that why is on place 104. So, and Sweden have also not made a lockdown. Yeah, but Sweden, you must also know, Sweden have a very strong social care. Even is difficult to find in other European state who are that far. Even Germany have not that far on medical care like Sweden have. So maybe they have other solution to think. Okay, let us take an everyone infection because sooner or later everyone would get it, and but our social system can take them and can put them to the breathe machine. That is so maybe they thought that way, but now they're thinking a little bit different because if they come to vacation, there's a lot of people who died for nothing. So, and don't think that is taking only the old stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, and the second is the people who die, and this is a bit more interesting because okay, that is like an old number because the people can come to the hospital. Oh yeah, you must know the people who go to hospital in Germany is about I heard about 15 to 20% of the people who get infection. The other, they said, okay, be at home, stay there 14 days, and if there's nothing, it's okay. So, but the worst, they goes to the hospital, and I want to say, because we know that there could be a 0.35 the percentage to death, but that is only on the possibility that you can cured by a hospital. So if there are 15% who go in Germany to hospital, there's also numbers that know if they don't get it, they will dying from 5% to 9%. So only so uh, that means if you have not a medical care, then the risk to die rise from 0.35% to 9%, could go to 99%. So that could be. So I really know. I don't want to say that I was in every country in the world, but just by the data, that means that, for example, India could die a lot of people. Don't think about a lot of people. So then let's go. What has happened? So the worst is Paraguay. Lost 4 places on the death rate. The West Bank, okay, that was I said already. Costa Rica goes down. So Albania, Kosovo, okay. So the rest, it looks like nothing goes wrong, but that means also that could be also mean that it is going down and fast, and nobody can go worse than the other. So, and the last, and that is the thing I must to say, Sweden is really a worst case scenario, but for the next numbers to if the next plate, I will tell you that the numbers are not, you can't relate to other because the Sweden don't give numbers which was cured, who's recovered to the John Hopkins University. Even nobody they write in there, and that's why Sweden's numbers after this plate you can take for sure. Even theirs down, but you don't know. So okay, so let me see. Um, So what we have, I want to say here's the best worst case scenario, and the worst case scenario about the institute or the university who have studies, who made studies about the virus, and The problem is that is related on the whole population. So that comes later up. And if there are some go under 150, under the worst case scenario, then maybe would be interested to see what's happened with these countries. So rank world. So the Guinea had get better one place. Sri Lanka lost a place. Thailand win a place. Ghana wins two. That means just that is not that the people recovered. It just means they made a bit. The people get less ill than to the other country. That means not is something going better. So just you have to know, and you see there's some and there's a lot of African country was in the beginning. If they close the border soon, then maybe they can care better to the people. And the African country even, I think most of them have also problem with the statistics. Some of them they give every 5 days some numbers to the John Hopkins University, but you can believe that in some country with tropical sites that can it is difficult to control the thing who is outside of them. Even they don't can count people. Um, so then I can tell you one of the hopeless parts who made it until now very good. It is South Korea, but even South Korea lost four places. Would made it also very good with Japan and still is on the same place. Even by the system, what they do, the people tell, oh, they make it good and something like that. So and on the other side, there's also a country the people said is very good made. That is Germany. So Germany made a lockdown, and now they opened in a few months the lockdown, and then they searching for clusters. Um, but they were affected. Sometimes they use also the army. They are completely prepared, and the best what Germany have because is a center of chemical industry. There's a lot of laboratories and they can use for testing. But even this test in Germany costs 50 euros, and even the German don't test it to all people who want it. So that is maybe a risk uh, because they can have some people, even they have no, they don't feel ill, but they can give it to the next. That is one of the specialties of the coronavirus because it makes it different which type of cocktail you get it on the time of the infection. And okay, even when you're older, your immune system is not that strong. Maybe they have problems to fix it on the right time. Um, but don't think over it. Even young people, even who are fit, who make sport and everything, who are, they are not that ill so that much, they can have it worse. And if you haven't a good healthcare system, the people and even you have a lot of virus around you if your amount of virus is too much on that moment you get it. You don't know, you don't know when you get it. Then even if you are fit, you are just on the side. There's a lot of virus. You are in a room or something, and there's two infection people who goes around you. They don't need to bleed on you. They don't need to sing. They just need to breathe normally if they have no mask. And then this very tiny bubble of water, you know, they can flew like smoke to the room, and that's why most of the companies who make parts or meat, they cut the meat and slaughterhouses and so on. They have a lot cases around the world that people get in a fast fast amount get infected because there's a cool down room. The The air is always goes around into and comes from outside and then comes from the side. So, and they get everyone, and the amount who get very ill is also very high. So, even that is very young people who are, well, that was in Germany because they came from another country to work there because they don't pay that much for that company when you work there. The Germans don't go there. Even the foreigners who live there for since some decades, they don't work on the slaughterhouse. So, okay, you see, this is also interesting that rich countries can also get to the worst case that they don't can manage the stuff. Saudi Arabia lost five places. So then let's rank it to the continent. Europe made a bit better in general. Czechia made a bit better. They're still a good place always and made a bit better. So who's the worst case scenario? Is Kosovo in Europe? Kosovo is ex crisis. It was part of Yugoslavia, was in war, in civil war, and now it is their own country, Kosovo. And there's blue buried soldiers there, I told already. So, and that's the worst case what we have there. And so, and then North America made it bad, a bit better, but you must know they have a lot of places who are over the 100. That means not that it is the countries who don't care enough who are on that place. So that means not that if you are on that countries on the down numbers, uh, be sure that it is the worst case what you have. So and then looks in general looks good 0.8. So and what we have, okay, South America, we know that is getting worse and worse. There is free economic countries, and they have not that strong healthcare system like in Europe, and their people have to work also a bit like India, not that worse than India. So that is natural. That is we awake that there goes down and down. You will see what's happened. So we saw that North America is still on on a good place. So Africa is on the beginning, and it looks like it get better, but it is all new countries who get it right now. So and then they get the old countries. They every time is faster and faster. They will get that they give their better place to the African state, and then when they are all given to the African state will also run down on the places. Um, so you will see on the end of it, when the pandemic goes an end, you will see what has happened. So Asia is the continent to have a lot of experience about. So there's China where the COVID-19 comes, and even not COVID-19. Also the COVID-19 have two names. This is COVID-19 and SARS-2. Because the SARS, it is also a COVID virus. Uh, it is, um, but not all COVID virus are that worst. So that's why they count everyone. The SARS have a speciality with the link to some cell, and that why the COVID-19 have the same. It is also the SARS-2. So and SARS-1 was the people died. The problem is on SARS-1 is was difficult to get infected. So it was not easy to for the virus to infect people because it infect only on the lung. But the SARS-2 infect not only on the lung, it infect in even on the brain. And I want to say you something like that. Um, the virology people, that is the medic who cares about the virus population and how the people get it and how many died. But there's another type of doctors, medicine doctors, who are the immunologen and something epidemiologe. I don't know really the word in English. They have other views on it. So, and both of them, they know, they talk about what has happened if you get it. Maybe you then got it worse. What has happened with you, and you can have. There's even people who don't get it really hard. They some young people that can walk since a few weeks and it's get better, but they think, okay, in 6 weeks get better, but there wasn't that extremely to go on a lung machine, nothing like that. So and there's also they found some virus on the brain and infect and inflammation on the brain, and that could be next risk. So in these risks, okay, the number you can count it right now, but on that what they found on the people who are dead, they tell that can be up to 20% or more who get worse healthcare problems even they don't die. So be careful to get this infection. Don't take it for easy thing. It is not just a flu, like some presidents in the world say. Use the mask, wash your hands, protect your eyes if you can, and don't worry what the people thinking or what you tell to you. Take everything you can make for your security will help you to prevent you. Not only for the dead, also for your health. And the older people like me, we know their health is the most worth, the thing with the most worth of the world. If you get ill, you do nothing more. So you can still die on something. Okay, let's just see. And on the economic system, communist systems are still in a good place there, but this is only one example. So there's no countries anymore. Socialist, religious economies. So this is difficult. I want to have more than one, and just think about how the state regulates the economy. And there's some similarities to Islamic religious economies, and socialist economies. So there we are, the social market economies. So there's the most of it. Yeah, I don't even I have not all the numbers, are just what I have in the brain, and they make it a bit better. So, but there's also enough to have a relation of it. So, what we have, only Italy lost a place, Switzerland lost two, and Iceland. I want to say social market economies is states is free market with state regulated social care. They have social care for healthcare, for if you get unemployment, and they have social care if you get um, so and that is state regulated. So everyone have to go into somehow, and that why that is a social market. So. The liberal economy make an average from worst. They lost 0.3 places. What is the strongest who take it down? It is Costa Rica and the oligarch system. So some companies are so strong they can tell to the government make that or that, and then is also not a really free market. So and that has happened by Ukraine and Russia, and they make it good, but it's also only two examples. Next, rank political directorial states. council states. I just say that authority democracies. So that I must explain what it is. This is the countries who changed um, the who changed the this the rules of the state. For example, they give more rights to the president and less rights to the courts. And there's now a few countries, and there's one of them where I put them on Democrat is represent. Yeah, there's Poland. There's nearby. If they make a big change on the garden next time, then it comes from here to the authority democracy. So, um, democracies of previous monarchies and councils. Yeah, I have to put the councils and the monarchies into, but it's only the type how they govern make the government on it. So you see the real monarchies um, are also very mixed because only Egypt was led by the army and Iran was led by a religious council. They are not really monarchies, but even the other you see, there's also not the best example. Only Thailand is very great. So um, I don't know. I'll read a little bit of Thailand. I heard that the people are, if the king of Thailand says something, then they take it very sure. They're very proud of his kingdom, and then they take much more the king of Thailand for sure than maybe the England people to to the queen. But even the queen had not that absolute power like the Thailand king. Even both are democratic countries. Um, and the represent farm democracy are the most of the world. They make the bit better. So okay, they lost. Oh, hey, I made an arrow here. See? Okay, let me see what has happened. Oh, oh yeah, it must be the Z. Okay, what? Oh, that's all T3. Makes no difference. AB3. No, P. Okay, that is T, and that is wrong. That is must be X, X, and that must be AB. Sorry. So yeah, now it's right. Okay, the next one. Yeah, the risk to dying after being infected. Oh, let me save that. The risk of dying after being infected. So you'll see that that we have these two works from researchers, the University of Bonn with the best case scenario, and the worst case scenario with the Robert Koch Institute. but is all on related that you have a good healthcare system. So that is the is also related on the rate of death and related on how many people live in there. And over that is better than the worst case scenario, but could be also other reason because the number are still in counting. And you know what I told you already. They count the infected about 1 to 3 weeks before, and then they die. So that why is always on flu. So that get how the times goes on, the numbers goes better. But it is even true that also the medicine and the doctor, the experience of the doctors getting better and better, and also they make it change in each one to another. That it must be better than the best case scenario of surviving. Is everything is going better. So, but there could be also other reasons why you are over that. There could be the numbers of infected is overestimated, or not all deaths are counted or make miracle causes, but it's not that miracle. It could be really happen. That is better. And when you see that the rich countries is into Singapore, Qatar, and Bahrain, and by Nepal, that is a very poor country. Maybe that is a problem with not all deaths are counted. So and then we have a big rank of normal stuff in the uh, right right range, but maybe you will wondering that so many is down, but this is a statistical problem, and I think you can see it in the best in the numbers of Germany. Where's Germany? Last time I searched for Germany and I didn't found. Uh, it must be better than Portugal, I think. Okay, I don't know. Man. Okay. You will see is that Germany is, oh no, it's Russia. Oh, okay. The death rate is Germany is worse than Portugal. So and lost the place uh, lost the place because Japan have make two places good. So Germany, you must know, they have enough places for hospital. Why there is not that good that the other, you must know. On the death rate is even worse than the world average. So, but it could be because they have not a second wave, and maybe the deaths are still from the first wave, and they're dead not they're long on the machine and they died right now, and then it will climb the thing later. So and then we have a new stuff. I made the last countings together, only the dead numbers, the dead measured on the share to the population. So, and then I make the third yearly five. So how you can see it, but message on the population, not like John Hopkins University. Um, you can only see the whole country, makes no difference how many people lives in there, and so you can see the risk better when you share it on the population. So you see that is still climbing, and that is the blue one is the US, and the other side is the measured on the confirmed. So it is if you get it, it is give a fantasy. If you get it, have you a better chance to cure it? Um, so yeah, it's getting better. It's going down. Even in the US, they have getting better experience to cure the people. And that is also not in US. It's also in Brazil is getting better, and in India, even in India, getting better. But this all three countries are, this is the worst case scenario. They climb. So so they maybe there's something wrong with the number. Okay, and then you see here United Kingdom, Spain, and Italy, the same thing. So, and you see United Kingdom to get to die on COVID-19 if you are not, if you get the infection is still high, and this was also going up to the 5th of July, and since that it goes slowly down. Spain gets still slowly down. You must know Spain have made a very strong lockdown, and maybe now they get um, the win side of that thing. Italy is in a high range, so still a lot high people who died, and don't change it very much. For me, it looks like there are still people they decide because there are not enough breeze machine. They just give okay. They have no chance. Let save and young and people they have more chance. So maybe like that. So I don't want to know. That is very. And then the best case scenario is Germany, Israel, and South Korea is the best ranking by the scientists, and you can use your own um, imagination opinion about it. So thank you for listening me and take care. Use mask. Use wash the hands. Use protect your eyes. Don't go so much out. If you buy, don't go to the supermarket with a lot of people. Go to the supermarket with low people. Maybe one people can buy for more people around his neighborhood, and but don't give them the hands. Just put it there and wash the stuff. Take care of you. Wash the hands. Use the mask. Don't make so too much party, um, and hopefully we survive all. I wish you the best. So bye.